good afternoon, or good evening. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to my first video of 2026. I'm just gonna be talking about my reading journey thus far this year. My layout of videos this year, I'm trying to consider it like a public journal slash public reading journal. I hope y'all are safe out there with these winter storms and everything. Hope y'all are doing good in general. So far, the year's been chill, which I'm very grateful for, very blessed for, and I've been able to get some reading done. So let's talk about that. Now, before I talk about my plan, I need to talk about the plan itself. Still going for a 10-page minimum a day. And now that my schedule is a little bit more busy, I'm giving myself enough time to finish a book. So I have 3 months to finish at least one novel and 2 months to finish at least one audiobook. Now that's plenty of time, but like I said, I want to make sure I give myself enough time so that if I miss, so I don't have to worry about missing a self-given deadline. And if I exceed that goal, great. If I reach that minimum, great, because that means that I read at least 10 books this year. That's the goal. Just because I'm more familiar reading now doesn't mean I'm gonna get too over cocky and be like, I'm gonna read 20, 30 books this year, because that's not, for me right now, that's not realistic. The first book I read this year, it wasn't a January read. It was a book that I was reading in December, but didn't finish until the start of January. And that is The Undead Fox of Deadwood Forest. This book was pretty good. This book was really good. Before I talk about it, let's cut back to moments before I even finished it, just so I can romanticize the little moments of my life. Like I said earlier, I kind of see this as not just my reading journey, but also like a public journal. So I'm just gonna show little things I do as well as reading. I went skating that morning. That was pretty fun. The leg that I used to kick with has seen better days, but it was still a good time. I took a couple of pictures on my little digital camera. This bad boy right here. Saw a couple of dogs, a couple of stray dogs. They look really cute. They were just frolicking about in the park. Once I got home, I was listening to Roy Eldridge and doing some laundry. Taking time to listen to some vintage music while doing chores. Magnifique, beautiful vibes. And I made some coffee, then I started reading. And immediately after reading, I gave my thoughts. So flashback to Sean at that time. Just finished The Undead Fox of Deadwood Forest, and this is a 5-star. This is a 5-star read. This is one of my favorite books that I've read in a minute, I must admit. Simple, straightforward, but I love how cozy the atmosphere is, the aesthetic, the cottagecore, the themes of redemption, love, understanding oneself really resonates with me. For a book so simple, for a fairy tale style type of book, for a book that isn't too difficult, challenging, it resonated and it hit equally as one of my more challenging reads like Song of Solomon was. And it's something about that simplicity that I find very beautiful. It was funny, the dynamic between Claire and Ginger Snipes. It's had everything that a fantasy fairy tale book needs. So it's a 5-star for me, I must admit. Now let's flash forward to a couple of weeks later when I started reading The Will of the Many. Well, not started reading, but I made it 100 pages in. I'm currently at page 150 now. I'm not that far into it, so there's not much I can say. But I can tell that this is a really good book. So far I'm enjoying it. It's a big book. I don't usually read books this big, but I've been enjoying the challenge. I feel like it's a good book to kick off 2026 with. And once again, I understand the hype for sure. Because with the way that it's being set up, the characters, the action, the political systems that are set in place, the lore that we're getting bits and pieces of as we're reading, I can tell that this is gonna be a really good read the deeper I go down it. Little intermission to talk about things I've been doing in between reading this book. Around this time, I went on a hike to take pictures. It was a small hike, didn't get that much footage because it was freezing. And I posted those pictures to Substack. Yep,
little PSA. If you want to see more of me, I started posting on Substack like a couple weeks ago, if not last week. That's where I'll share some writing, some photography. It's a pretty cool app. So if you're on there and you want to check me out, information's right here. Last book I've been reading is The Children of Blood and Bone. I'm gonna listen to the audiobook of this, and I'll listen to this on my way to work. So I don't really have much footage, little moments to romanticize around reading this book. But I can say that this is a really fun read. I really enjoy the adventure aspect of this. I love the fact that it's an African fantasy. I love African fantasy, even though I've only read one other one, which is The Rage of Dragons. But that's one of my favorite fantasy novels, The Rage of Dragons. So being able to read this and get more African fantasy, it's a lovely thing. Good action, good characters, and like I said, once again, the adventure aspect I really like about it. I like the places we see and the traveling and, you know, seeing the connections grow and seeing our main characters overcome the adversary of a corrupt king. Pretty solid fantasy, must admit, so far. I think I'm maybe 60% done, so I'm almost there. And that is so far what I've read and been reading in January. I guess I'll give my full thoughts on them once I'm done. I probably won't be done with this until March, if I'm being honest. But we'll see as we progress on with this 2026 reading plan documentation. So, I hope you have a great rest of your day, night, evening, whatever. Peace. God bless.